Today I'd like to teach you the knit stitch. Now, when you knit every row, the resulting fabric is called garter stitch, and that's what's happened here. You have one row of these purl bumps, they're called, and in between the rows of purl bumps you have a smooth row that looks as if it's composed of sort of V's. Okay, so let's get started, the knit stitch. You're transferring the stitches from the left hand needle onto the right hand needle, and the way you do that is you go into the first stitch, so into the loop, by inserting the right hand needle tip into the loop from left to right, and with the right hand needle under the left hand needle. You take the working yarn and go under the right needle tip, take it between the needle tips and then form the loop on the right hand needle by drawing it towards you. Then you remove the old stitch from the left hand needle onto the right hand needle. So let's go through it again. Step 1, you insert the right needle into the first loop from left to right with the right hand needle under the left hand needle. Step 2, you take the working yarn and you go under the right hand needle tip and between the needle tips. Step 3, you form the loop by drawing that loop of yarn towards you and onto the right hand needle. Step 4, you remove the old stitch from the left hand needle onto the right hand needle. Now let's look at the first stitch on the left hand needle. It's got a purl bump just below it. When you then knit it, you go into the loop, you wrap the yarn, you form the new loop and you remove it. You'll notice that there's no purl bump in front, and if you flip your work over there's a purl bump behind that stitch, so on the back. None in front, only one behind. And that makes it very easy to count the rows, because you're only forming these purl bumps every second row, which means that if you count the purl bumps and multiply by 2, then you know the number of garter stitch rows. So let's knit to the end of the row, insert the needle, wrap the yarn, form the stitch and remove the old stitch. Insert the needle, wrap the yarn, form the new stitch and remove the old stitch. Insert the needle, wrap the yarn, form the new stitch and remove the old stitch. Now just a short word about holding the yarn. If you get the working yarn quite close to the tip of the needle and over your fingertip, over your index finger, then it becomes much easier to then just loop the yarn around without actually letting go of the right needle much. So a beginner would, take it round by letting go and then grab the work again. Whereas if you are close to the tip of the needles with your yarn, you can go in, just loop it round and not have to let go of anything. So I've reached the end of the row. I'll turn my work and then I'll just show you how to count again. So counting the rows again in garter stitch. The first row is a smooth row, the second row is the purl bump. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 rows on the needles. Right. I hope that helps and I'll see you in the next video.